Hi guys! I asked you to submit your K-pop unpopular opinions or confessions in my last video, so let's take a look at them. Remember, these are all my opinions. If you disagree with me or have anything to add, you're of course allowed to. 1. Kiki and I-dle's concepts are so underappreciated. Everyone thinks I-dle is just the cute, soft vibe. They're not. They have dreamcore. It blends elements of weirdness and dreaminess. If you think they're just another New Jeans clone, go watch Little Monster. Oh, I was waiting for someone to say this. I-dle are one of the reasons I'm enjoying K-pop recently. They have such cute, dreamy music and MVs, and whenever I'm in the mood for something that makes me enjoy my womanhood, I go listen to them. They have the cutest outfits, the cutest MVs, the cutest choreos, the cutest lyrics and beats. And while many groups have this same description, I-dle just stands out with their uniqueness, which can be seen in their MVs. And I definitely agree with the "they're not another New Jeans clones" part. As you said, I-dle's concept is dreamcore. New Jeans is more Y2K. Both groups make me enjoy being a woman, but as someone said on Twitter, I-dle's songs are written with pink glittery pens, and I can't agree more. Anyway, enough rambling about I-dle. Stream and watch the MV for Little Monster and do the dance. And for Kiki, the weird concept is so good to me. Their album cover is literally a pickle jar, and their debut song is just random sounds and lyrics. They're literally congratulating themselves for debuting. I have to admit, watching their promotional videos on TikTok was an experience. Their weirdness definitely drew me in, and I was tuning in for their debut. I saw some people say that Groundwork was supposed to be their title track, since it had a bigger budget, and the actual uniqueness we saw in the promotional videos. But the company decided to play it safe and release I Do Me first, which is a cute, laid-back, non-offensive MV with dreamy vocals that everyone is used to. Either way, I enjoyed both songs. I liked I Do Me more though, and if they stick to experimental releases like Groundwork, I can see more people standing them. 2. I feel like I-dle's music has sort of gotten worse as time has passed. I'm not the biggest I-dle fan, though I have to say I was there when they debuted, and I absolutely loved Latata. I have a few favorite songs from them, and surprisingly, all of them are from their early years. I occasionally listen to their recent releases, and I don't personally like them. So yes, I kind of agree with this one. But at the end of the day, music taste is subjective. So while you and I may enjoy their older songs, others may disagree. Blackpink's Deadline tour is far better than Born Pink tour. Well, that's definitely an unpopular opinion. The Born Pink tour had a higher production value, which made me enjoy it more, but I can definitely see why people would enjoy their Deadline tour better. Each member got to perform their solo songs from the albums they released after not renewing their individual contracts with YG Entertainment. I also loved seeing the members perform OT4 versions of each other's solos. But I don't know, I still prefer their Born Pink tour. You're all welcome to change my mind or share your thoughts on this one. J-Hope is massively underrated and overlooked in terms of skill, and Jimin solo stans also disregard him as the main dancer when he truly deserves that. I absolutely agree with this one. You can see how passionate Hoseok is about dancing and performing. He literally made a whole documentary where he travels the world to explore styles like popping, locking, house, and hip-hop. And yet he's so underappreciated for how huge his talent and passion are. The same goes for Jimin. If you remember the Black Swan era, Jimin stood out the most for me. I literally get chills whenever I see him dance to that song. This comparison and discrediting have been happening for years, especially towards the Hyung line. But this case is different. Because both Hoseok and Jimin have different dance styles. Hoseok came from a street dance background, and Jimin trained in contemporary dance, so his foundation is in ballet, but he's also great at hip-hop. J-Hope is a great dancer, and he's deserving of the main dancer title. That doesn't make Jimin any less of a talented dancer. People should learn how to appreciate their individuality and dance styles, not put them against each other. V's vocal range is good and deep, but his words sound a bit muffled and not clearly enunciated. I kind of agree with this one. Yes, his deep tone can sometimes make it seem that way, but it's also part of what makes his voice unique. Plus, he's shown he can be super clear when the song calls for it. So I think it's about the type of the song more than anything. 3. I think it is okay to like a group, but not be a fan of every member as long as you don't spread hate and make it your life habit. It is totally fine to not like a member either because of a scandal, personality, or any reason. Like I am not a fan of Ayeon from Baby Monster. I am a Jisoo solo stan in Blackpink. I don't stan BTS because of the whole RM disrespecting Islam situation. I am Muslim. First of all, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying my channel. Second of all, I do agree with your opinion. You shouldn't force yourself to like the whole group just because you feel like you're obliged to. Some people just don't resonate with us, and that's normal as long as you don't spread hate. And I'm glad you're not putting K-pop over morals like most people do. If someone disrespects your religion, culture, or ethnicity, you have every reason to dislike them. 4. I don't get the ITZY hate. Don't jump me, let me finish first. I get that Sneakers was disappointing and all, considering that JYPE led people to believe that ITZY were doing a royal concept. I get that. I didn't get to experience the checkmate comeback, so I can't say much. But I still think people hating on ITZY for literally one bad comeback to this day is way too much. Also, Sneakers as a song is actually really good, it's a nice vibe. There, I said it. I don't get how people in their right mind would genuinely hate and send death threats to a group of young girls for the decisions an old man did. Trust me, I've seen how wild it got. People act as if these girls committed crimes when in reality they just released a song that didn't resonate with most people. K-pop shouldn't be that serious. Yes, people were excited for a concept shift and were left disappointed, but does that justify hating on the group? These girls are incredibly talented. It makes me sad that they're not at the level of popularity as some of their other fourth-gen colleagues, especially considering they're from the big three. If you genuinely hated that comeback, just skip it and listen to their other albums. That's simple. 5. I think that JYPE still giving ITZY a comeback without Leah wasn't really nice. I'm glad she got to have a hiatus and take some time off to improve on herself, but I feel like they could have paused ITZY's group activities for a bit. Maybe Leah was fine with them continuing together, I don't know. Maybe she didn't have a choice, I don't know. This would make their next comeback more exciting. Like imagine if they had a comeback that's kinda like the Born to Be in Gold albums in one. I guess the concepts wouldn't really match, so maybe that's why. Still though, I don't think they should have continued group activities without Leah. I think that's a fair point. When a group promotes without one of its members, especially for an entire comeback, it can feel incomplete to fans who are used to their dynamic as a whole. Pausing activities until everyone is ready could make the return feel more special, and it would avoid having to rearrange lines and choreos to include back in the missing member. That said, companies in the K-pop industry often keep group activities going even when a member is on hiatus, because pausing too long risks losing momentum, especially when competing with so many other acts. They have to think about schedules and music production timelines, which are often planned months in advance. If Leah was okay with them continuing, it might have been seen as the most practical option. I agree that waiting could have made their next comeback more impactful, but I'm glad they're back as 5 nevertheless. 6. I don't understand what happened in 2018 for people to consider 4th gen started then. Brother, trust me, even I am confused. I always say my faves are from a generation they're not, and that's because these generations are not official, just fan-made ways to group eras together. Now, the reason behind 4th gen starting in 2018 is not clear to me as well, but I think it's because 2018 marked a shift in K-pop's overall style and marketing. 3rd gen groups like BTS, Blackpink, and TWICE were already dominating internationally, and companies started debuting new acts, specifically targeting global audiences. Regardless, some fans think that 4th gen didn't really peak until around 2020 to 2021, with groups like TXT, ITZY, ATEEZ, and ENHYPEN gaining major traction. So, 2018 is more of a starting point than an actual beginning of a generation. If anyone have any idea or anything to add or correct, please do. I'd love to know more. 7. Baby Monster, Blackpink, BTS, and some other groups are overrated. By that, I mean, yeah, I stan them, but no need to puff them out like superhumans. Example, Aeon being the best 5th gen idol, bruh stop being delusional, and no she isn't. She is overall the second worst in Baby Monster, but fans show her as the best. I think that's completely subjective. In Baby Monster's case, I think a lot of it comes from Aeon having a big pre-debut reputation and strong stage presence, so fans naturally gravitate toward calling her the best. I will say though, I'm not the biggest Baby Monster fan, and I've came to know about Aeon against my will, because as you said, she's pushed as the best out of the whole group. No hate to the girl, of course. I'm not saying she isn't the best, but her fans are making people dislike her. But yes, I think she's not that different from any regular 5th gen idol. I have to disagree with calling BTS overrated, and yes, it may be my favoritism showing, but I genuinely think they deserve the fame and recognition they're getting, and in all honesty, I think they should be recognized and respected even more. Beyond popularity, They've built their success on years of work, writing and composing a lot of their and other artists' music, and breaking into markets that no K-pop group had reached before. Their background, coming from a small company, facing industry pushback, and still becoming a global phenomenon, makes their achievements more than just hype. For me, they're rightfully hyped at least, and underhyped at most. As for Blackpink, I do think they're a bit overhyped. They're insanely popular, but their actual discography is relatively small for a group with such a long career. The hype they get often outweighs how frequently they release music, and sometimes it feels like it's just the name that's giving them that. If you've been on TikTok these past few years, you'll see that many K-pop songs are trending amongst locals without even knowing it's K-pop. That includes BTS. However, when Blackpink's songs trend, they know it's Blackpink because they've already established a name and sound to their brand. They're still relevant just because they're Blackpink, not because they're necessarily bringing anything new to the table as a group. Anyway, I'm not here to tell you which group is overrated or not. I'm guessing you've already made up your minds before even clicking on this video, but these are just my personal thoughts, saying this because I know I'm getting jumped. 8. To be honest, I wonder if K-pop idols should really be called singers because most of them don't write or produce their own music, and/or make their own choreographies. I know the music industry is different in Korea, but when I found out that they didn't make their own songs, I was really disappointed. They're basically performers who sometimes don't even sing live. And why train over half your life and starve yourself till daybreak to sing other people's lyrics? But I don't know, that's just my opinion. I definitely agree that most K-pop idols shouldn't be called singers. Instead, they're performers. I get that this is a crazy concept to someone who isn't used to K-pop. But in Korea, the idol system has always been built more like a theater production, where different specialists, songwriters, choreographers, producers, all work together to create a final performance. And for the idols, they are trained to be all-around entertainers, singing, dancing, performing, acting, and engaging with fans. But that doesn't mean none of them write or produce. There are quite a few idols who do, BTS, Stray Kids, I-dle, 17, etc. But it's not considered a requirement for success in the K-pop industry. The value placed on idols is often about how well they interpret a concept, deliver a stage, and connect with the audience, even if the lyrics weren't theirs. As for live singing, it does occur more frequently in K-pop, but that's partly because the choreography is extremely demanding, and the idols are expected to dance in sync with each other. 9. Jennie thing is all over social media, TikTok and YouTube since I mostly use them. I saw a video of someone singing, and the comment said, "I used to sing like this until I hurt my ankle," and the first reply was something like the Blackpink girl Jennie. Even Billboard had an interview with people criticizing her girl. It gets to a point, I really wonder if she knows and how does that make her feel? It has been all over social media for years now, but it's especially a hot topic now that they're on tour and she's still doing it. I have already made a video discussing this, so I'm not going to bother y'all with my rambling again. But it really does get to a point. I still think it's fair to call out performances you personally found lacking. That's part of being a fan and having opinions. But it's also different when the narrative turns into a constant running joke, or a label that overshadows her entire career. I can't imagine she hasn't seen it, and I do wonder how much that affects her, because it's not just one or two comments. People have literally built a perception of her based off these videos. We don't know if she really doesn't care or if this is getting to her, but I hope she only listens to the constructive criticism instead of the outright hate. That is it for this video. Thanks to all who participated and shared their thoughts with me. Remember, I have shared my personal opinions here as respectfully as I could. I hope you guys will do the same. I will talk to y'all in the next video.